We are all set for our next session. We have Sanjeet here with us to get it going. Sanjeet, over to you.
Hi, folks. Super excited to have all of you on board. Really looking forward. I hope all of you are looking forward to the session. I know I am. We have with us Chirantan Sharma, who's the head of product from Ferns N Petals. And along with him in conversation, we have Akshat Rao Yethapu, who is the cross-border business lead at Razorpay. Over to you, Akshat and Chirantan.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks a lot, folks, for joining in this exciting webinar. I think this will be a great opportunity for us to sort of hear from one of the biggest brands in India, right? Which is Ferns N Petals. So Ferns N Petals, I know like, all of us grew up with it. I think it's a brand which has been there in India for more than 25 plus years. They've been known and have been synonymous with, heartfelt gifting and helping people express their love to all their near and dear family and loved ones, right? They've been always been innovating themselves, right? If you think about Ferns N Petals, you never think about a brand that has been there from so long, because they've been constantly innovating and have been, the go-to D2C brand in India for anything regarding gifting, right? And I was just wondering, right, doing this in a single country itself is so difficult, but now taking it a notch higher and doing it in multiple global markets is another difficult problem to do, right? And I felt that, Chirantan here with us, who is managing the product for Ferns N Petals, he heads the product there. He would be the right person to share insights as to how is Ferns N Petals, what is the magic formula that Ferns N Petals has cracked, right? A bit about Chirantan before we get started. Chirantan has been in the product space for more than 15 years. He has had experience in multiple companies like Vodafone, Tata, and Tech Mahindra. And now he's, like I mentioned, leading the product for Ferns N Petals. So yeah, welcome to the session, Chirantan. We are all looking forward to...
Thanks a lot, Akshay. Thanks a lot. And thank you so much for such a humble, I'm really happy to hear what you all said about Ferns N Petals. So now I'll have to live up to the session.
Yes. So Chirendra, will start pretty easy, right? So wanted to start off by getting to know from you as to how did Ferns N Petals, which is a known brand in India, start its journey of expanding into international markets? Yeah.
Sure. So I think I don't know if all the folks know that Ferns N Petals started in 1994. That's like almost 30 years. I mean, some of the folks were not even born at that point of time. So that's the number of years experience Ferns N Petals has. So it started as a flower shop, and then it grew into a multiple outlets retailer which was selling flowers, etc., gifts across the country. And around in 2005, they became very active in online business. Now what happened is that they were selling all the gift items across the country. And so what was happening was that all the customers were requesting that if we can send gifts abroad also. And we used to get a lot of emails that especially in the occasions, because maybe flowers and cakes are available in almost every country, but you will not find rakhis available across the globe. So just to give you an example, so Ferns N Petals picked up that insight from the customers and opened started delivering in very selected countries to start with, and the response was very good. I mean, not only from the Indian customer side, but even the response was good from the other countries where partners and vendors were ready to deliver and bring smile on the faces. That's what we do, yeah, right? At the end of the day, we are in the business of selling smiles.
Yes.
So that's how it started. And like one or two countries in at that point of time. Now Ferns N Petals delivers approximately to 150 countries, which is like covering almost the entire globe. And so there are two kinds of international business we do. One is that if somebody's sitting in United States and want to send some gifts in India, that is one kind of business we do. And the another kind is that if somebody's sitting in India and wants to send gifts to anywhere in the world. And now we have we have launched our own websites in 5 countries, which is Dubai, Singapore, Saudi, etc. Yeah, so that's the small introduction to FnP's journey to international.
It's so inspiring, right? With such a humble beginning of a flower shop to sort of conquering so many countries, and that to an Indian brand is, something that, we should all be proud of for sure. So wanted to sort of dig a little deeper there, Chirandan, like as you are sort of going through this journey, right? There might have been multiple problems that you would have encountered, multiple decision points that you would have to take the right call for your customers, right? So, and I think we were discussing before also is that one thing is that how do you make it as local for a customer who is in a different country, and something that starts that is your product catalog itself, right? So how did you sort of think about those elements when you were discussing about all these geographies as such?
Yeah, so I will talk about the basic stuff, no AI today. So the hardcore product stuff, which is very basic and commonsensical. So I think at the heart of any product management, it's the customer, and all the product managers and the organization should try and understand about the customers, because so it's very important to know the persona, and if you don't know your customer, you cannot understand their challenges. So that's the primary goal. If you know and if you understand their problems, then only you can look for any solution. So like in this case, the journey started with understanding the persona of the customers. And when I talk about customers, we have on one hand somebody who's trying to gift, and somebody who will receive the gift, so a receiver and a gifter. So it's like multifold. And the exchange of gifts happens not only that Indians are sending gifts to their loved ones, say in US or UK or in Singapore. It happens the other way around also. And the persona of customer is completely different, and it dramatically changes when you move from one country to another country. So for example, very simple example, if somebody is sending a gift in India, they might not send a dark chocolate because we don't appreciate that, but that will be very much appreciated in maybe in US, UK, or maybe in Singapore. So these kind of small things makes a lot of difference. The kind of customers we have in one country, it will change as you start moving from developing countries to developed countries. Everything, all the dynamics changes. For example, if I talk about delivery of a product, see, gifting delivery is very important, and sometimes obviously it's difficult to find the address. So when we talk about Indian customer, they don't feel bad at all in giving their details, and anybody can call them and they will explain the entire address in detail. And they tell all the nuances that you have to do. You don't take that road, take that road, you will come faster, etc. But that will not happen, say, in US or maybe in Singapore also. So people are a little conscious about their privacy. So it's important to understand, and then platforms should be able to convert or help solve these problems. So so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about.
Awesome. Also, like in that journey that the customer takes, right? I think definitely payments also plays a very important role, right? How comfortable are they to sort of do a payment, especially again with a brand that they're not aware of, right? At least to start off with in a different geography as such, right? So how was that journey been as to when you were trying to solve that?
So I think good payment system is table stakes as we speak about, right now it's table stakes. But in the earlier time, I remember that uh, so we were with PayPal, and we never used to get the success rate also, because that's how it used to work, and we never knew if anybody was trying to make a payment and the payment didn't go through. But we used to get emails, and emails like that. I tried making a payment 150 times, and I can I'm shocked to I was shocked to know that those kind of emails used to come, and the person used to try it for 150 times because it was important for that person to send the gift.
Yeah, yeah,
At the same time, that person is trusting the brand that if I send it from FnP, it will definitely reach. Uh, Maybe it's about sending to your lover or to your family members, or maybe a sister is trying to send a Rakhi.
yeah,
It's full of emotions. So it I mean, and then if you've selected a product, everything is there,
yeah,
and the payment doesn't happen. So it's like super frustrating. But over the years, I mean, the system improved. I mean, in our country also, and anyways, we are leading in fintech in that sense.
yeah,
So Razorpay come in, and other players also come in, and we started seeing significant improvement in the success rate, and the trust factor also started building, because earlier what used to happen, user used to get redirected to another page, and then suddenly customers used to drop. So
yeah.
we started getting these insights also, that why customers are dropping
Hmm.
was. And one of the recent insight that we have got is that lot of time what happens is that especially this is relevant for countries like US, where there is no, in many cases, 3DS is not there.
Yeah,
So two-factor of authentication is not there. It is, we are very used to it, that if
yeah,
you're making a payment, then we will put the CVV and the expiry date, and then we will get a OTP, and then we will authenticate, and the transaction will happen. But that's not the case in US. I mean, so what happens is that there are some bad actors also.
yeah,
We cannot ignore that, and what happens is that sometimes there are frauds around it. So
yeah,
people will place the order, and once they place the order, what happens is that after 2-3 days, they'll go to their bank and they will say that, I never placed this order. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah,
And the bank will raise the chargeback. So it's a management of risk. On one hand, we get genuine customers requests that, like, especially from Australia and US, that I'm trying to make a payment, and my card is not working. And the reason is that we have put 3DS scrub.
yeah,
So after understanding that how we can reduce this risk, there are some rules we have tried to bring in. So try to strike a balance between the fraud and the genuine ones. So
yeah,
let's say that we have put a velocity check, that okay, one customer can do only one transaction in a week
yeah,
with non 3DS. So all such kind of innovations have helped us grow the success rate beyond 75% in international, which is decent enough. Uh, yeah, so definitely the problem of 3DS is not completely solved. It
yeah.
still remains. Yeah, but we are still trying.
Yeah, I think it's a slow march, right? I think India has
Yeah,
always been in the forefront of customer safety. I think the regulator has mandated that, but the world needs to catch up to India in this scenario
yeah,
where
yeah. I agree.
customer safety. Yeah, I think funny that you mentioned velocity rules, right? Like similar to how we build velocity rules for you, there were use cases where we had to make custom rules for depending on the business case, right? So we had a few education SaaS providers who typically provide courses. Now, a
Okay.
typical course runs for 6 months or 12 months, right? So there is no need for a transaction of a card being used multiple times, right?
Yeah,
At least for
yeah,
12 months, right? For your case,
yeah,
it might be a day or a week, but once that payment is done, then there's no need actually. So we actually said that, hey, if a card is done, then you should not retry it within a month, definitely, right? Because there's no use case for sure, and sometimes more
yeah,
longer also. So typically,
yeah,
by understanding the business case, we can definitely balance that fraud element in a at least control it for now, right? So
Yeah, I agree.
that's something that we're doing. Yeah, awesome. Also wanted to call out on that specific unique thing that Ferns and Petals has, right? That which is the delivery experience. I think that's
Yeah,
been really one true differentiator of Ferns and Petals. There have been so many instances where I had to ensure that a cake is to go during midnight, and sort of
yeah,
Ferns and Petals always lives up to that
yeah.
expectation that I have. So again, how do you do it, and how do you ensure it, especially in other geographies also? Yeah.
Yeah, so rightly pointed out. Uh, so there are two important aspect of gifting. One is, thoughtfulness. Uh, uh, the person who's receiving the gift should feel that the person who has sent it was thoughtful about it, and the person who's receiving the gift should also get a feeling of, specialness, etc. And one is happening on the side of the product, the kind of product you're sending. Maybe it can be a personalized caricature with personalized remarks, or maybe a video, a personalized video along with that, and a flower or a cake. I mean, that is one part of it. The another part is the delivery. It is really critical, because let me give you one example that especially it happens on the birthdays. I mean, when you get up and you know that you have to go to office at 9 o'clock, and you do go to office on birthdays, right? I
Yeah.
don't, by the way, but many are going. So you know that they will go to office at 9 o'clock. So you want the bouquet to be delivered at 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the surprise is gone.
Yeah.
Or you want to send, cake at the midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, if somebody is sending cake at midnight, I will be shouting on that person because I would have slept by time. But I
Younger
myself,
people would want it. Yes, I agree.
yeah, I myself have done it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was real stress I took in my life. I mean,
Hmm.
cross all the hurdles and finally, delivered at 12 o'clock. But yeah, so we do that, and it's very critical. It has to reach in that particular time slot, and I want to plan it in advance.
Hmm.
So suppose if I'm ordering something and it has to reach on a date, then it has to reach on that date.
Hmm.
My birthday is on 18th of November. I cannot go on a website on 17th and say that, okay, the delivery will happen in one day, and then wait, and then it can happen, it cannot happen. Or I
Hmm.
cannot do order on the 12th of November, otherwise it will be delivered on 13th or 14th of the November. So this scheduling aspect is very critical, and so we have to manage that across the globe.
Got it.
So that requires a complex system, because every vendor across the globe will have their own cutoff times, and accordingly we have to show the slots, and the system has to be intelligent enough to understand that, okay, if the difference between the dispatch and delivery is 24 hours, then system should not allow the user to place the order.
Yeah.
Otherwise, equipment will be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very important.
Got it. Got it. And you mentioned a system, so I will sort of extend on that point further, right? Like, I think
Mm.
one question that a lot of D2C brands also ask themselves is to, should I go with a platform or should I build something for myself, right? Obviously, there are trade-offs, right? Faster go-to-market because of going through a platform, and
Mm.
there's enough customization also available, pretty advanced systems. And
Yeah.
also custom, you get the unlimited possibilities, but also you need to pick and choose each and everything, right? And it takes its own sweet time to go to market. So what was that decision like for Ferns and Petals? And yeah.
Thanks, Akshat, for asking this, because I think it's very critical for any product manager to take this call, buy versus build, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah.
Now, I think it is very important to understand the use case, the problem that you're trying to solve. And uh, so, I mean, if you keep that in the center, and if you think that whatever MVP that you're trying to build can be solved from the standard platforms which are available in the market, then it's fine. And I think we have moved a little higher in this sense. Now it's not MVP; it's like most minimum loved product is what I heard in some media somewhere, that which is becoming popular than MVP. So nicely put that ways. So when we talk about gifting, we started with normal, uh, products which are available in the market, and very soon we realized that some of the critical aspect that any user is looking for in a gifting environment are not solved. So let me give you a very, very basic example here. So let us say that you're sending a gift to someone, and you want to also write and give a greeting card, right?
Okay.
Uh, that will not be available in the standard out of the box product, right? You will not have the option to, really write a greeting card, a personalized message, and that greeting card has to be printed and given to the receiver.
Yeah.
We have enough spoken about the delivery scheduling times, etc., morning, evening, midnight, what date, etc. That goes, without saying. But like that, there were many critical and important, features and functionalities which were not available in the standard product.
Got it.
So then what we did, we started our own, journey, and we built a product from the scratch. And the platform that we have right now, um, is one of the reason why, we are able to solve the gifting problem.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Also, like in specifically in gifting season, right? There is always that tough wave that keeps on happening, right? During festive seasons, you see that, and then after that, maybe there is a lull period, and then again it comes back up. Although there are constant birthdays that keep on happening, but any strategies that you employ to sort of marketing side or during festivals, what all things do you do, both from the global perspective and Indian perspective? Yeah.
So, gifting businesses, you've rightly pointed out, it's highly cyclical, seasonal. If you talk about Valentine's Day, uh, the number of orders that we get on Valentine's Day in comparison to a normal, day, the ratio is 1:20.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I mean, it's not 2x, it's 20x. And same is with, some of the other festivals like Mother's Day, Father's Day. And so Rakhi is slightly split. I don't know why it happened, because maybe brothers have accepted that Rakhi will come.
From this
Okay.
day to this date, any day.
From this day to this date will come. It's not required on that particular day. But yeah, you've articulated it right. So the system has to be scalable, because you will get traffic which is like 20x of your normal traffic. So it should not happen that your site goes, there are outages, etc., and the speed of all the operations should continue the way it happens in a normal day. Otherwise, ultimately, your customers will be very unhappy about it.
Yeah.
So that's as far as system goes, and we do a lot of we spend a lot of energy in that. At the same time, we always try and manage the capacity by uh, making changes in some of the processes, and we change our strategy. So during the occasion, we run a very limited catalog. We don't do very fancy complicated bouquets. Let me just give you a small example. So if I have to deliver a Dutch roses bouquet of 10 stems, uh, it will take 5 minutes to 10 minutes for a florist to make it. That's it. But if I'm talking about a complex bouquet which has, or a bunch of flowers which has lilies, orchid, carnation, and then some creativity in terms of all the packing that we do, it will take half an hour to 45 minutes. So during occasion, what happens is that we cut down on these complex products. So we play with a limited catalog, and we give discounts on the non-occasion days, which never works. Days on 14, we give 20% discount on 13 that you advance Valentine's wishes with. We can
Discounts
actually,
don't influence emotions. I
yeah,
think that's the
I
key takeaway
agree.
that is there.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like Valentine's Day is like your big billion day, right? Of
It is.
e-commerce,
It is.
very
It is.
similar in that way. Yeah.
Actually, that entire month, for that matter, you have Chocolate Day, you have Teddy Day, you have
Oh
Rose Day,
yeah.
Valentine's Day. Seven occasions are there.
Nice.
I never
Nice.
knew that.
Yeah. Nice. So I think in this journey, right, I think definitely FNP has been raising the bar and solving a lot of these problems, like the example that you mentioned, right, where success rate was very low and you sort of gotten it to an industry leading number. And similarly, your delivery experiences, cataloging. What are
Yeah.
still some frontiers that you feel are yet to be crossed in sort of growing globally for a brand like FNP?
So I think definitely international payments has a lot of scope. I mean, 75% success rate when you compare it with domestic. I mean, domestic is 85%, so 10%
Yeah.
difference is there. And I've already spoken about 3ds. So something which a system which is intelligent enough to identify and can give a protection against such fraud. I mean, that is something which will maybe let us play on the front foot, because right now we ourselves are on back foot when it comes to international transactions. We don't want frauds. That's the primary reason. So there is a lot of scope in international payments. And see, there are reasons like if you talk about US, okay, it's only cards.
Hmm.
When you talk about Australia, Canada, even UK for that matter, Singapore, there are other modes of payments which have come in.
Yeah.
So the UPI equivalent of that country. So right now we are not able to bring them all those modes of payment for the users.
Yeah.
So for international business, definitely from payment side there is huge scope, and there are
Yeah.
problems which have to be solved. Um, in the entire ecosystem also, because there are so many hops. So yeah, that is one,
Yeah.
as far as that is concerned.
So, yeah, thanks for sharing that. Right, I think our product team will be really pumped up to hear this, because these are some problems that we are also working. Right, we are currently testing a product called Razorpay Shield, which
Okay.
allows for chargeback protection. What that means is that since Razorpay is at the scale right now and is one of the leading players in processing cross-border transactions, right? So you get the goodness of that visibility that we get of payment data, and we take that liability of fraud chargebacks away from the merchant, right? So we look at numerous signals, right, from the device ID, customer information, what kind of
Okay.
products are they booking, which country, IP address. A lot of parameters go into an AI engine that we've built it from scratch, right? And that has helped us protect our merchants from fraud and ensure that we remove that headache, right, so that you can concentrate only on growing your business. So that's something that we will it's currently in beta. We are testing it with a few merchants right now, and should be rolling out pretty soon in the coming months, right? The second part that you mentioned
You'll
is
be
the.
first one in the line to take it.
Yes, yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Yes, yes. The second one is also like you mentioned, right? How do we get local methods? I think Razorpay started that journey of enabling local methods through Trustly, GiroPay, so forth in the European region, and we are sort of doing some integrations to enable more local methods. I think now, other than just these local methods, even governments are pushing for UPI equivalent payment
Yeah,
methods. Like Pay
yeah, I
Now
agree.
is one in Singapore, Do It Now is one in Malaysia. So a lot of
Yeah,
these are as good as, or that's the ambition, to get as good as UPI. So definitely that is also something that we are working very closely with the regulators of those countries directly to sort of solve, right? Because this is a real need in the market for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a real need.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. Awesome.
You can't expect everybody to have credit card. You can't expect, and everybody can actually not get the credit card. That's a reality.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how do you bridge that, or bring them into the financial inclusion? I mean, uh, if they don't have credit cards, right?
Yes, that's correct. And like in specific countries, when I was talking to business, right, they are like, if my customer doesn't even have a bank account, right? So they don't even
So
have a
wallet,
bank account. They use
yeah,
wallets, especially in the SCA regions. They don't even have a bank
yeah,
account.
yeah, yeah,
They just have a wallet, right?
yeah.
And very interesting, right? Where they select, like I know that we are present in Malaysia. We've recently done an acquisition. Razorpay is now present in Malaysia, where there they order online, but they don't do the payment online. They go to the nearest 7-Eleven and then pay there because
Yeah.
they still don't trust
Happens
the
with that
online.
that happens a lot in Latin America also. I mean,
Yeah,
you place an order and then there are stores where you can go and pay, and you know there are coupon systems for that.
yes.
Yeah, so that's like why these guys are not learning from India.
Yeah. I think they are still in the 2000
Yeah,
eras of India, still in
yeah.
the revolution of digital payments. So hopefully they'll get there, and we will also help them in that process. Yes, yes. Awesome. We have Sanjeet back.
I think that was a signal that our time is up.
No, we still have some more time to go, but we've had a lot of questions. So I thought
Okay.
that, let's take it up. We have had a bunch of questions, Chirantan, on the logistics and shipping piece of Ferns and Petal. Like, how does the international courier delivery takes place? Who is it something that is done via third party? Is it something that FNP manages themselves? And who are the fulfillment partners that FNP has been using? So, any insights on that would be super helpful.
So, first of all, it's country dependent. I mean, uh, we can just simply break it into two or three segments. When I talk about, say, Singapore, US, no, sorry, Singapore, Saudi, Dubai. So we have our own offices there. We have our own warehouses there, and we our websites are live there. So you can go to fnp.ae, and you can order in Dubai. It's a Dubai website. So what happens is that in that case, if somebody is placing an order on fnp.com, same product is available there also. So on fnp.com also you can choose Dubai as a delivery location. So that's the capability of the platform to allow same product which is available in India and in Dubai. So what happens is that the delivery in Dubai then happens normally. I mean, the Dubai team is delivering that. So that is one part which is simpler. The another one is, then we have, you know, deliveries, which happens from India to other countries. So we have partners. So we have partners across the, globe. So if Rakhi is going from here to there, I mean, it takes a lot of time, obviously, and cake cannot go. So what we have done is we have tied up with a lot of vendors in these countries, and along with the vendors, we are using the aggregators, uh, who are helping us, in getting all the courier or the logistics partners on board. And yeah, once the partners are on board, we have a system which is our platform only. So we have given our partner panel to all these partners, and whenever there is an order, it they get to know on that panel, and then after that, the packing etc is done, and then the product is delivered. So this is a very high level thing that I've told. It's pretty complex. If somebody wants to understand in detail, then maybe I can speak to that person separately. It's actually complex.
Yeah, got it. One more question that I see is that, how did you crack the cross-platform offers since your early days, right?
Sorry, I started reading the question and got
Uh,
distracted. Yeah, what you're saying?
so I
What's
think
the question?
the question is, how did you crack the cross-platform offers since your early days?
Cross-platform offers. I'm not sure uh, about the question. What?
I
Yeah,
think
I think,
probably they're trying to understand if certain offer is applicable on website only or app only, but possibly something like
yeah.
that. That's what I'm assuming, but they haven't mentioned more details.
Hmm. So we will have to skip that.
Yeah.
So I can talk a little bit about offers. So
Hmm.
there are two types of offers. One is offer which is which we launch when we do a branded campaign. Okay, so suppose we are doing a campaign with Paytm or with Amazon Pay or with any bank or like this Raki Amex offer was live. So those are offers which are co-branded and usually done with the fintechs or with the banks or the credit card companies. So that is one side of one type of offer. The another type of offers which we give, like
Hmm.
you know to suppose I know that my repeat purchase is going down, and in a specific product, say in flowers or in cakes, or my app, MOUs or whatever equivalent you want to call is dropping. So I will, start giving certain offers so that I get some win backs, and ultimately the offers are also a complex. Uh, uh, it's not easy because you need to segment your base, and the number of segments can go up to 200, and there are multiple logics. Aging of the base, margin of the product, what is your objective. But largely these are the two types of offers that we run in the market.
Got it. Got it. I think one good thing that I've experienced in FNP is where I ordered once for an occasion, and then Ferns and FNP does not fail to remind me the next time, saying
Yeah,
that this is coming up, you need to sort of do something
yeah,
again. So yeah, so I use FNP for reminding
yeah,
myself on all occasions for loved ones. Yes.
yeah. I think there is a real problem uh, in reality. It's a problem because in earlier days, I mean, Facebook was helping us to
Yes.
solve that problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody is on Facebook these days, and everybody is on Insta, and Insta is not reminding you for birthdays.
Yes.
And on those days when we used to go in the Google Calendar and used to write that birthday, this, that. So what we do is whenever someone is placing an order, we give that person an option that do you want to save this so that we can remind you. And I've also done it, and sometimes I get irritated also. And the only flip side is that if you saved your girlfriend's birthday and you broke up, still we will remind.
Yet to reach that level of AI where you would
No,
predict.
I'm telling you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Chandan, we have very less time left. But we would still want to take up at least two more questions. We'll just try to quickly
Yeah,
wrap it up.
I think
One
there is
question,
one interesting question.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, Sanjit, you can go ahead.
yeah. I just wanted to quickly. I think Nilanjana is also here to remind us about the time. But one
yeah,
question is essentially around the vendor onboarding process. I know that we talked about it in the international market, but any other insights? Like I think someone has very specifically asked if you also what is the process that someone can take participate in if they want to become a vendor with Ferns and Petal. The very specific question.
okay. That's very simple. You just need to go to our website, and there is a link, and just give the details, and we'll reach to you. Because obviously uh, so there are two types of vendors. I mean, I don't know if I understand it correctly, but I will answer for the both. One side of the story is that if you want to become FNP franchisee, which means that you're partnering with us, and you will be selling cakes, flowers, and all of Ferns and Petal products in the offline retail market. Another is that you want to sell your products on FnP, because we sell a lot of third party products, like starting from candles to personalized products to mugs, etc. So for that, we have a category team, which take care of all the vendor selection. And usually it starts with you can give your inquiries in the website, and they will reach out to you, and then you can showcase your product. And if your product matches the quality, and there is a price negotiation which happens, obviously, then we'll be more than happy to sell your product also. So these are the two types of vendor arrangements.
Fantastic. I think we've run out of time, and Nilanjana is here to remind us that. I think we've covered mostly all of the questions, whatever questions that have been there. But if there are any additional questions, I'm sure, Chandan, we'll send it to you, and then once we do the handouts at the end, we'll probably
Yeah,
share it with our audience.
definitely. I can see there are a lot of questions.
Yes.
I'm just scrolling. Yeah,
Well, I've tried to cover most of them, but there are definitely more questions that we can look at. Thank you so much, Chirantan and Akshat, for this super insightful session. The fact that we have ran out of time to answer questions is a testament to how engaging and exciting this session was for our audience. Thank you so much for making time. Thank you.
pleasure is mine. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Chirantan.
Thanks to you also for calling me. Super exciting session. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirantan.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Quite some learnings from this one, right, folks? And definitely one that FnP gives you reminders, something to note down, definitely. Thank you so much. So we're heading to the last few sessions of the day. I'll see you folks in about 2 to 3 minutes in the next one. Next up, we're learning how to battle the behemoths, the uncontested kings of the festive sale season. We're about to crack open what it takes for the festive giants to do what they do, and possibly beat them at their own games. We'll find out. I'll see you in 2 minutes. Go to the next session. Thank you, guys.